Well, heart disease, like many modern and often fatal illnesses, can be attributed to poor diet and also smoking and stress. And here to talk about the dietary side of good health is a registered nursing sister, whom I'd like you to welcome, who's written, by the way, several books on the subject of lowering cholesterol levels. Please welcome Suzanne Porter. Suzanne. And with her, a highly qualified eater, Miss Tracy Harvey.
Thank you, Bert.
Welcome. Tracy, I thought you'd written a book on the subject of food.
No, Bert, I've eaten a book on the subject of food.
Oh,
In fact, I think I've eaten every book that Margaret Fulton's ever written. These teeth will get through anything.
Of course. Well, of course, and there's a subtle difference too, of course, between eating a book and writing a book, isn't there?
Yes, there's a lot more fibre when you eat the pages.
Of course, of course. Suzanne, to you, I think about, 8 years ago, something happened in your life which really got you onto the trail that you've taken ever since.
That's right, Bert. About 8 years ago, I developed osteoarthritis in my left hip, and because the medical profession couldn't do anything very much for me, I found that by changing my diet to the no added fat concept, that it not only improved my cholesterol levels, but it also improved my osteoarthritis. So as a result of that, I moved away from nursing at the hospital bedside, and I went into writing books and testing recipes. That's what I've been doing ever since.
Right. How many people in Australia would you assume suffer from high cholesterol?
70% of all Australians have elevated. 70% is pretty alarming, isn't it?
It certainly is. And what about men and women? Any ratio there?
Well, the ratio was that women used to not have heart attacks earlier in their lives, perhaps later on in menopause. But now we're finding that women are leading very stressful lives. Perhaps they're raising their families on their own, they're working, they're not exercising, they're grabbing fast foods and things like that. And we're finding younger women now are not only having heart attacks but needing to have open heart bypass surgery.
This is not good news, is it, Tracy?
It's not, Bert. I first became interested in high cholesterol myself when I was a kid, and Mum used to put dripping on our Wheaties. For dinner, I'm sorry, Mum, but I've got to tell them. For dinner, she used to cut the meat off the fat, give the meat to the dog and the fat to us. Well, Mum was the first person in our family to suffer from a heart attack. By the time everyone else in the family had had a heart attack except the dog, I knew something was wrong. We had to get another dog. So I mean, that's where my interest in high cholesterol comes from.
Certainly, I can see you're very interested in it. What about the ratio of age groups?
It's really not that great these days, because young children, as well as adults, all suffer from raised cholesterol levels, and as a result of that we find that younger people are having heart attacks as well as older people. So it doesn't really matter that much. The diet of westernised society is such that the cholesterol levels are high in all people, 70% of all Australians.
Is this what you found, Tracy?
Well, I found that also it causes symptoms, like you told me, Suzanne, that it can cause yellow fatty marks above the eyes, but I've noticed it can make you drive on the wrong side of the road. I mean, you look at Americans, they suffer from very high cholesterol levels, and they all drive on the wrong side of the road, which I think proves the point. But
I knew there must have been a reason for that.
Well, there's always a reason.
Yes, you've given it to me. And about the book, obviously it's one which is very close to you, close to your heart.
Right.
Yeah, and something which, of course, should be of interest to those, particularly considering 70% of us are suffering from it.
That's right. Well, my latest book I've just written is called Keeping It Low with Meat, and I found that Australians are very big meat eaters. So if they were big meat eaters, why not have a book that taught them how to cook meat in a correct way? And we're finding also that a lot of women stopped eating red meat and felt that white meats, chicken and fish, would be the very foods that would lower their cholesterol, and this is not the case. And as a result, they've got vitamin B12, vitamin B6, and the minerals iron, zinc and iodine deficiencies. So we're looking now to saying to women, eat sensibly with your meat, and perhaps one red meat serving per week.
Suzanne's brought along one of the dishes to show everyone.
That's right.
I think there should be enough for everyone. Suzanne, what do you reckon?
Let's have a look inside.
That's right.
Beautiful.
That's one of the dishes that's actually in the book itself.
Hey, I've never had potatoes in a dish like that that actually move.
That's because you've got the pan tilted.
That's wonderful.
But the meats themselves are excellently done. I'm very, very pleased about the book, and I guess every Australian will want this book in their households, because it's very, very important that we learn to do the meat properly.
Suzanne, if you don't mind me butting in, I think that looks terrific, but it does take a while to prepare. For the working mother on the run, she is conscious of the time factor. together. Now, I've brought along some foods which are easy to prepare, they're cheap, and you won't find them in any health food store.
Very interesting,
if I may
Tracy.
just
Go ahead,
show everyone
please.
today.
Yeah.
We all know that it's important to start off the day with a piece of fruit. So for breakfast, Fruit Loops. If you're on the run and you haven't got time for breakfast, Fruit Tingles are always a good substitute. Munch one of these and you've got a lemon or a lime or an orange or a strawberry.
Well, we're supposed to eat more fruit, aren't we?
Thank you, Suzanne. I knew you'd support me. Potatoes are very high in iron.
Yes.
And you'd find
And
at least
fibre.
half a potato in this. Cheese, high in protein. Cheese, we've got Cheezels. Mind you, you'd have to eat the whole packet to get the taste, but never mind. And milk, well, the good old dairy milk chocolate. There's
Glass and a half.
glass and a half. You can see the glass and a half. You actually might need glasses to see it, but it's there. And of course, to wash it all down, I've brought along, just out on the market, Bert, steak and kidney flavoured milk. Delicious. Had the fat cut off. Brains and tripe for the oldies.
Yeah.
And for the Catholics on Friday, Bert,
Yes.
fish and chips.
Oh, what a lovely
You
thought.
do have to watch out for the bones. They get caught in the straw.
Tracy, thank you very much
Thank
indeed
you,
for
Bert.
your advice this afternoon. Also, Suzanne, thank you for your
My
good advice
pleasure.
too.
Thank you.
Suzanne Porter and Tracy Harvey.